Self-described biblical conservative, Representative Bob Good. It's not so good. He suggested that gay marriage was part of a plague affecting society during a speech that he gave on the House floor. This was on the House floor. They're debating legislation on domestic violence. They want to do something about domestic violence, but here's what Bob Good had to share with everyone. Let's watch.
Nearly everything that plagues our society can be attributed to a failure to follow God's laws for morality and his rules for and definition of marriage and family.
Does he feel that way about Donald Trump? Marriage, family, biblical morals, and it's just amazing how we had 4 years straight of this like gross perverted guy in the White House who like paid hush money payments to adult film actresses because he cheated on his wife while she was pregnant with them and didn't want them to disclose that information.
I think, to be fair, I think she had just given birth.
Oh, she had just given birth. Okay.
So it's not that bad.
What does the Bible say about that? Like,
God
are you
doesn't mind as
able
much.
to, get your D wet if your wife has already given birth?
That's the terminology that Jesus used.
Okay, got it.
Thou shalt.
All right, well, he went on to attack the bill's gender identity provisions, claiming they would coerce faith-based providers to violate their deeply held religious beliefs or stop their work altogether. Yeah, because just acknowledging transgender people and making sure that they also get protected under this legislation would really mean that the religious liberty of people in the United States would be harmed, definitely. By the way, it's nothing new. He's always been pretty awful on these issues. A Virginia House candidate campaigns by attacking a man dressed as a woman. As Bob Good, an opponent of same-sex marriage, tries to rally Republicans with attacks on transgender rights, Democrats see an opening in the GOP-held district. Well, that's a headline from August of 2020, and Representative Bob Good gave that speech on the House floor, so that
worked out well.
Didn't work out so great.
Yeah, it's kind of like delightfully old school for the right. I'm just gonna give a speech about how gay marriage causes tornadoes or whatever. That is crazy and it's offensive and it's dehumanizing to millions of Americans, but I don't know, is it a little bit better than Hillary Clinton participates in satanic rites and eats baby faces? I don't know, it's got more of a tradition to it.
I also want to give you a little taste of what this guy's morality is really about, because just yesterday, we shared a story involving a rape victim from Liberty University. Not only was she raped, she had a ton of evidence to prove it. She immediately reported it, immediately went to the hospital. She had bruises on her body as a result of the assault. She took photos of the injuries. She goes to the school, tries to report it. Not only did they brush it under the rug, Liberty University decided to punish her because she broke their moral code by drinking and talking to boys. So she's the bad guy. She's the bad person. She's the one who should be punished. They fined her. She's a rape victim. They didn't do anything about the rapist. In fact, the only thing they offered her was to pray with her. That's Liberty University. That's the kind of morality they engage in. Not surprising that Bob Good previously worked as a fundraiser for Liberty University, for their athletics program specifically. That's Liberty U, the school known for following God's rules and for repeatedly ignoring/dismissing claims of sexual assault by female students.
I don't know if you mentioned it yesterday, but I just want to make sure that people also understand that it is against the Liberty way to have premarital sex. And when you say that you've been raped, that is a violation of their premarital sex clause, according to them. It doesn't matter that you didn't want to, that it might have been the worst thing to ever happen to you. It is itself a violation of that.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter if the person breaking that moral code is a dude, right?
Plus the person making the accusation is a woman, can you really believe her? I mean, this is stuff that is, like he wants to talk about deeply held beliefs. That's pretty deeply held by a lot of these people. That women can't be trusted, especially about sexual stuff. She wanted it, she's just changing her mind afterward. This is the sort of thing that you'd hear on an episode of like Crowder's Show or something like that. You also get it out of GOP representatives because there's I don't even know if there is much of a distinction between those two classes of Republican, but it's growing closer and closer every day.
They're still the same. Like, they might try to rebrand themselves with populist lingo here or there, but at the end of the day, the right wing is still the right wing. They don't actually want to do anything about inequality, and corporate greed. They just want to persecute you if you have a lifestyle they don't like. That's it.
Remember when the governor of Texas was like, "Oh yeah, no, I hear your concerns about the abortion thing, but don't worry. What I'm going to give you in return is we're going to ban all abortion."
Yeah.
Well, look, I understand it's a different state and everything, but we're going to ban all rape. It seems like there's something going on there, and they don't care about it. Maybe start there. That seems like a pretty fertile ground.
They wouldn't even test all their rape kits. They had like a backlog of rape kits because the state of Texas hadn't really been doing the investigations on rape allegations.
It would be, I'm sure that there's a sociological reason why they don't do this, but have you ever considered what it would be like if the right wing, the pro-life right wing, actually went for it and was consistent? If they were like, you know what, we value life because it is not humans' place to decide who lives and dies, so we're against abortion because that's killing. Also, we're gonna make sure that your kid lives, and you too, we're gonna make sure that you have health insurance, and obviously the state can't be deciding who lives and dies. Like, I have a feeling it would be harder rhetorically to fight against them if every bit of their ideology wasn't so riddled with holes and hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be that much extra work, honestly. Why not do it? Why not act like, if you're gonna pretend that you value women, they love to, when it's like they use it in their racist propaganda and everything, we gotta protect young white women. What if you actually protected women and cared about them, wanted them to have health insurance, and made sure that they had paid leave and everything? That wouldn't even be that much more complicated, and you would have a stable, consistent, if abhorrent in a number of ways, ideology. Just actually go for it. They have this cartoonish thing instead.
That's who they are, though. That when people show you who they are, just believe them. They're showing us who they are. They always have. It's never changed.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.